Hello friends, today's topic is exceptional children. Who are exceptional children? Generally, in a class, we see most of the students' performance is at an average level, but some student you see they show above average and some they show below average performance. Such children who do deviate, whose performance deviate from the average on either side are called the exceptional children. So we can define exceptional children as exceptional children are those children who deviate significantly from the normal ones. In other words, we can say children who show considerable deviation from what is supposed to be normal for their age or an average group are labeled as exceptional children. This deviation may fall on either end, that is thus that is it may be above average significantly or below average significantly. Such children are so exceptionally inferior or superior to the normal children in terms of physical development, mental ability, social behavior, emotional reactions that they experience. So those children who show a superior performance than normal are called the gifted children, and those children who show their performance below the average are called the backward children. Today, let us discuss about the gifted children. Let us see the definition of gifted children. See, the first definition is the talented or the gifted child is one who shows consistently remarkable performance in any worthwhile line of endeavor. That is, a child who shows a consistent remarkable performance, or you can say an above average performance, or a performance much superior to a normal or expected level. And the second definition is the gifted child is the one who exhibits superiority in general intelligence. That is, these children they exhibit superiority in their general intelligence. So such children are called the gifted children. From these two above definitions, we can generalize some characteristics of the gifted children. That is, first one is the gifted child is essentially an exceptional child. So he is an exceptional child. Both backward and gifted children are considered, or can say classified as exceptional children. In comparison to the children of his own group, the gifted child is superior in some abilities or group of abilities. And the third point, in most of the cases, the gifted children always exhibit superior performance in the area or the area of their giftedness only. And the fourth point is the gifted children include not only the academically talented ones but also those who show promise in various other co-curricular activities such as music, dance, drama, painting, sculpturing, writing, or creative arts or mechanical work, social leadership, human relationship, etc., games, sports, gymnastics, etc. So all these children who show a remarkable superior performance compared to the normal or the average child in all these above mentioned respects are called the gifted children. Then, how do you identify the gifted children in your class? As a teacher, you should identify the gifted children so as to nurture their abilities or their giftedness and to provide a special education to such children. In the identification of gifted children, the intelligence test is used, as an instrument of testing. So generally, if you take the IQ of the gifted children, most of the psychologists they consider an IQ of 125 for the gifted children, whereas others consider it to be between 135 or 140. So on an average, we can consider 130 as the IQ of the gifted children. Anything more than 130 and above are considered as the gifted children. So how to identify? Coming to the question of identification of the gifted children in the class, in addition to these intelligence tests, a teacher can identify a gifted child based upon their behavioral characteristics. And a psychologist by name Dehan Opikoff has suggested some characteristic features that are found in the gifted children to use by the teacher to identify them. And the first one is the gifted children, they learn rapidly and easily. That means these children they learn with less efforts and quickly compared to the most of the children of their class. They use, second point, they use a great deal of common sense and practical knowledge. See, these children compared to the most of the children of the class, they use their common sense as well as their practical knowledge, that is the knowledge they gain in their life in the classroom situations. And the third point is they show reason, greater reasoning ability, that is they reason things out, they think clearly, they recognize relationship among different aspects, and they can comprehend meaning. These are the cognitive abilities that are found in the gifted children. They reason things out, think clearly, recognize relationships, comprehend meaning, which usually and easily not done by most of their um, peers. And the fourth one is retain what he has heard or read without much rote or drill. See, this is one of the most important characters. They retain the things taught by the teacher and what has read by them for a easily and for a long time without any much drill work to remember, to memorize the things. This is one good character of um, gifted children. And the next point is they know about many things of it most students are unaware. See, since they can retain the things taught by the teacher or learned and what they see easily, as a result they know many things most of the student are unaware of. So next point is has a large vocabulary. Generally, since their grasping ability and their various other abilities are high compared to, so they generally show a great vocabulary, a greater ability to learn language quickly, comprehend meanings, may they know meanings of difficult words. So and they know how to use this vocabulary appropriately and accurately. And the next point is they can read books that are 1 or 2 years in advance of the rest of the class. Say this is one of the very notable characteristics of the gifted children. They can read easily, they learn to read easily, learn to write easily and quickly compared to other children. And the next 8 point is they perform difficult mental tasks. They can perform so difficult mental tasks. That means the mental tasks that are considered as difficult to an average student. So these such tasks or such works are easily done by these children. They are curious, as a result they ask many questions. It is the next point, and has a wide range of interest. They are not only interested in one subject. That means they are not only interested in maths, science, or biology or chemistry. They are interested in painting. They are interested in sports. They are interested in uh, many things. And the next point is they does some academic work 1 or 2 years in advance of the rest of the class. That is, if a child, if he is studying in fifth standard, he can do the work of a sixth standard and seventh standard um, uh, very easily, whether it is maths, whether it is science or language. So this is one of the important characteristic feature of the gifted children. Next point, the 11th point is original in his thinking. He is original in his thinking, uses good but unusual methods. They are original. They doesn't like copying others. They like to show their originality in their work. And the last, not the least, is alert, keen, observant, and responds quickly. In a class, you see them always alert. Whenever you take them to a laboratory or an exhibition or any place for to observe anything or to show anything, you find them always alert, keenly observing the things, and respond quickly whenever you ask question to them. So these are the points based upon which you can identify gifted children in your class as a teacher. Then comes, once you have already identified, it becomes very important for a teacher to design, to educate these children, or to design an education method for the children. See, most of the psychologists are of the opinion that you can follow one of the four methods of educating the gifted children. So, of those four are: one, separate school; ability grouping or separate classes; the second one; the third one, acceleration or double promotion; and the fourth one is enrichment program. If you take, let us take of these four uh, methods of educating the gifted children one by one. First of all, let us take separate school. So it is suggested that you can identify gifted children from the class and open a separate school for the education of gifted children, so that they can be educated in they can be segregated from the other students and can be educated according to their abilities, their learning abilities, with the speed they can learn, or in the subject of their giftedness. But this method has a problem, and one is it is not an affordable method, because you find only a small percentage of gifted children in a class. So, and in the developing countries, this method is not feasible. And one more drawback of this method is that the student from this school may develop an aristocratic and conceited attitude, and this way they try this method may try to widen the gap between the educated and uneducated, or privileged and privileged children. This is the first method. And the second method is ability grouping, or you can say separate classes. Say, similarly, the gifted segregation of the gifted children into separate section within the same schools involves the same danger. So in ability grouping or the separate classes, what you do is, in a school you identify gifted children from a class and you accommodate them in a separate section. So you have more than one section of that for a class. You have a section for average children, and you have separate section for gifted children. So when you can have this kind of arrangement, you can definitely it will be easy for you to educate the gifted children and cater to their educational needs. But the problem is once again the same. So you find very little, 1 or 2% of the gifted children in a class. And and one more problem is that all the children are not gifted in the same field. They are gifted in different fields. So as a result, again the percentage of the gifted children in a subject or in a field, it becomes more still less. Therefore, it is unwise to think of having separate section comprising a few gifted children. So this method also has the same drawback, that is the students, they may develop an aristocratic attitude, and this may make the children feel proud of their talent, and this may increase the gap between these children and other average and below average children, leading to various social conflicts. And the third method is acceleration and double promotion. Say, this is the method, another method suggested for the gifted children, and it is, being practically implemented also in many cases. So in this class, what happen in this method? What happens is, um, uh, according to this plan, a gifted child is allowed to accelerate or progress in the class. He is either promoted to an advanced class or advanced grade in the middle of the session without completing a session, uh, or he can be uh, given a promotion, a double promotion at the end of the academic year. Say, for example, if a student is studying in fourth standard, in the middle you can promote him to fifth standard, or at the end of the fourth standard academic year, you can promote him to sixth standard instead of promoting to fifth standard. That is, you are promoting him by one class extra. So this method can be adopted, but this may also have its own advantages and disadvantages. Advantage is that the child may get the promotion according to his abilities, but when he is promoted to a higher class, there will be an age difference between the children of those class, as in the example I have given. The child will be of the age for fifth standard, and he will be promoted to sixth standard, so there will be a difference in age. As a result, um, this may lead to many social maladjustments and many social and adjustment problems among children. And the fourth method is enrichment program. At the end, we consider another proposal for education of the gifted children. It is technically most feasible method of educating the gifted children. It is also technically known as the enrichment program. Basically, it consists of selecting and organizing of the learning experiences and activities appropriated to the child's adequate development. In this way, the enrichment of education should be considered a need of all students. But in the case of gifted children, it will definitely imply an urgent need of giving them a greater variety of experiences or tasks at a more advanced level. Thus, enrichment programs aim to bring additional educational opportunities for the gifted children. For example, it may include the following: special assignments within or outside the syllabus so that they get engaged, their thirst for knowledge is satisfied, their thirst for doing something new, you know, is satisfied. So then second point, work on independent projects, like reading, can give them reading projects, you can give them experiments, you can give them projects to in biology, chemistry, in various subjects to find out the things. So This is one very good method of giving them an additional opportunity or experience to learn independently. And the third point is preparing reports and participation in panel discussion. You can arrange a panel discussion on various topics where such children's they can um, express their knowledge. They can show their knowledge, and they can discuss and enrich their knowledge by listening to others. And the fourth point is independent library reading sessions. Since these children they learn very easily and quickly and retain without much efforts, so as a result they get bored when the teacher repeats the same content or syllabus or topics in the class to help the average and below average children. So in such cases, if you give them an independent library hours, where they can go to the library and read, um, uh, books regarding their topics of interest. So it gives them, it prevents them from boredom and gives them to opportunity to acquire new knowledge, higher level of knowledge. This is one very good method. And fifth point is visit to the places for getting first hand information. You can make them to visit museums, you can make planetaries, you can make them to visit libraries, laboratories, biological tours, you can take educational tours, you can arrange so that they can get a first hand experience to various things, so concepts and objects, to get more information. And the next point is construction of models, aid materials and improvising apparatus, etc. So you can give them an opportunity, or you can arrange competition for such children to construct models on various topics of science, environment, etc. In biology. You can make them to prepare the teaching aids that can help, in the day-to-day classroom teaching learning activities, so that the activity can be made more effective. And you can make them ask them to improvise certain operators that are conventionally used in experiments, so that gives them these kind of opportunities, gives them an space to think differently, to show their abilities, mental abilities, and satisfies their mental hunger, you can say. And the next point is participation in the organization of co-curricular activities. See, these children are usually interested in many things, they never say no to any kind of activities. So as a result, you can make them to participate in and even take their help in organizing various co-curricular activities. They will participate, they will organize. So in this way they are kept engaged, always engaged. So a teacher should do or organize such activities to, especially to these children, to keep them engaged, keep them learning, keep them updating their knowledge. This will help them to improve still. uh, uh, and the next point is experimentation and independent research, and this is the most important thing. You can make your children to experiment in various topics, especially in the science, in the field of science. You can make them to observe and the nature. You can make them to find the differences in plants, their leaves difference in flowers of different plants, body characters of animals of different classes of, or different phyla. So you can make them give them an open opportunity to experiment and to research in their own in the topic of their own interest. So this is the most important. This is the bread and butter for the gifted children, to make them more interested, to make them learning, always learning, and to improve their abilities. So in this way, these learning experiences should be so enriched that gifted children find always something new, something they should always find something challenging for them. So in this situation, they can get adequate opportunity to to prosper their abilities. So this is all about the gifted children. So here we discussed what are who are backward children, who are exceptional children, the two types of exceptional children, gifted and backward children, definition of gifted children, how to identify gifted children, and how to educate the gifted children. So thanks for listening, and please comment and express your opinions regarding this class. If you like this class, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share with your friends. Thank you.